In this video, we are going to be fishing, camping, and surviving for 48 hours in the Florida Everglades. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. We're now here in the Florida Everglades, getting our boat ready to head out. On this adventure, I was here with my brother and my Uncle Joe. Now as we launch from the ramp, our epic 48-hour survival adventure begins. Now we make our way to the camping grounds, and this was about 20 miles away from the boat ramp. As we make our journey there, we saw a ton of these giant crocodiles. And this is one of the things that makes the Everglades so special. There's so many unique types of wildlife here. So we now get to the open bay after a long 20-mile run through the mangroves. In the distance right there, that is the dock we will be setting up our tents and equipment on for the next 48 hours. So as we pull into Lane Bay, the camping dock we will be staying for the next 2 days, the first thing we wanted to do was set up our camping tents, our sleeping bags, and our portable cooking equipment. We now docked the boat and opened our portable bathroom. And when you are camping in the Everglades, you're able to rent one of these docks, and they all come with one of these portable bathrooms. So after unlocking that portable bathroom, we started building our tents. We first connected the tent poles together for this tent. And this was my brother and I's first time camping, so we really didn't know much. Luckily, our uncle is extremely experienced with this camping stuff, so he's able to put these tents together extremely fast. So this is what the tents look like that when they were finished. And let me know in the comments below if you guys have ever went camping. Honestly, for my brother and I, our first camping trip was such a cool experience. But now we enter into this tent, and this is what this tent looked like inside here. So we had both sleeping bags set up for my brother and I, and we had a couple of our accessories such as our batteries for our phones and our cameras here, and some blankets. Now after setting up our camping gear, we figured we could go do a little fishing before it was too dark. So we make our way to explore some new fishing spots now. And about 30 minutes later, we found this area that looked super fishy. So we made a couple of casts with this small jig, and it didn't seem there were any fish in this area. But we tried casting a couple of times up this creek, and my brother in the back was casting, my uncle was casting, and we just had no action. So we decided to move on to a new spot. So we got to this new spot, and my brother Hunter casted out his gold spoon, and on his third cast in, he got this nice little juvenile snook here. So my uncle was able to net this fish, and we were able to put this fish nicely in the boat. So we got some cool shots of this baby snook here, and we safely then released him back into the water. So after my brother safely released that snook, he did a couple more casts with his gold spoon, and this spot had a lot of action, just a lot of small fish here. So he was tight again, he was fighting this fish, and this fish felt small again. But this one was not a snook, this was a smaller ladyfish here. But we got him near the boat now, and he just fell off the hook there. After fishing this spot a little longer, the sun started to set on us, so we decided to make our way back to our camping site. And this is what makes camping in the Everglades so special. The sunsets, sunrises, and wildlife is just unreal. This was our sunset on day one here. So we pulled into our camping site, and the reason we called our fishing so early, our plan day one was just to enjoy the night. So we wanted to get to our camping site early so we can make dinner and enjoy the sunset. So we tied up to our dock here, and we just enjoyed this unreal sunset as our dinner was cooking. And after dinner here, we were able to enjoy some camping stories and the stars and the moon for a little. After a while, we decided we probably should go to sleep because we had a big day in front of us tomorrow. So my brother and I just woke up, and this is day 2. So we woke up and we wanted to go outside and watch this beautiful sunrise. We went outside and we saw some fish jumping right near the dock, so we definitely didn't want to miss this opportunity. So my brother Hunter made a couple of casts, and he had a couple fish blow up on his gold spoon, but just nothing connected on it. After I let my brother take a couple of casts, I definitely wanted to give this a shot. So I switched off with my brother and I gave him the camera, and I threw my jig down the mangroves, and I was able to catch this nice little mangrove snapper here. And there's really no better way than waking up in the morning and 30 seconds later, you go outside and you see a bunch of fish blowing up. After getting this nice little mangrove snapper, I threw out my jig again and hooked into a ladyfish. And we didn't keep any of these fish. We were mainly out here in the Florida Everglades just to experience camping. So my brother and I stopped fishing for a little, and we just enjoyed this beautiful sunrise. So my uncle started cooking us breakfast here, and he had some eggs, some sausage, some bacon, and it was just a great experience eating with this beautiful sunrise. After an awesome morning, we decided now to head out and go do some fishing. So here we really didn't have any spots, so we were kind of just exploring some new fishing spots. So on our way there, we passed by these massive crocodiles, and actually this is where we set up to do some fishing. So we set up here and we started casting, and my uncle got hooked up in about 4 or 5 casts. So this fish felt small again, but we got this fish now near the boat and we saw that it was a different species, a small redfish. So we flipped this fish in the boat, and you guys will notice we caught most of our fish this day with this gold spoon. Gold spoons work really great when you're inshore fishing. So we got this beautiful redfish and we safely released him back into the water. Literally right after we put that fish in the water, my brother in the front got hooked up. So he got this fish down near the boat and he was able to catch this nice little small trout. So we continued to fish this area for a little, and honestly we didn't have any luck for a good 30 minutes, so we decided to move to a new spot. We got to this area now, my brother Hunter cast it out, and about 10 casts in, he got another bite, and this fish felt smaller again, not a giant here. But we got this fish now near the boat, and he was fishing a gold spoon here, and we saw that it was another small trout. So we put this fish back in the water, and I now wanted to do some fishing, so I threw the GoPro on my chest and I cast it out there, and I got hooked up. I got this fish down near the boat, and sadly this one got off the hook here. He just spit it near the boat, but again it looked like a smaller snook here. But after fishing for a little while, we decided to head back to the camping site. It was about 1 o'clock. Go cook up some lunch and take a little break. As we pull into our camping site here, I got the ropes ready and we were ready to tie back up to our dock. Once we tied up, we now took a little break and made some lunch. After about an hour of chilling and we all ate, we decided to head back out there for the afternoon bite. So we all got back on the boat, we started disconnecting the ropes, we headed out to explore some new fishing areas. And if you guys could drop us a like on this video, and let us know in the comments if you guys enjoy this type of content, we would really appreciate that. So after a short little run here, we found this area that we wanted to fish. So we were casting this little twitch bait here. This is the first time I used this lure on this trip. I wanted to give it a shot. We worked these mangroves for about 20 to 30 minutes here. And on the first couple of casts, we just had no action. We all fished for about 30 to 45 minutes in this spot. And honestly, my brother and I didn't have any luck, but my uncle was the first one to get hooked up. And this fish, again, it didn't look like a big fish here, but when you can get action, that's always great. It doesn't always have to be a big fish. As long as you're getting a lot of action, that's what makes the trip so much fun. So he now got this fish near the boat, and we saw that it was another juvenile snook. So we flipped this fish in the boat, we took a couple of pictures with it, and then we safely released this fish back in the water. About 20 minutes after that juvenile snook, I was working my twitch bait pretty fast and something hit it. And the nice thing about this lure that we were fishing here is it has 2 3-way hooks. So it's really hard when you get hooked up here for these fish to spit these kinds of hooks. You guys saw earlier in this video one of the fish got close to the boat and spit the gold spoon. But this lure that we were using makes it really hard for any fish to do that. So we now got this fish near the boat and we got this ladyfish. The one negative about this lure is it's so hard to take the fish off the hook. But after a while, he just was able to just fall off the hook. We fished for another 30 to 45 minutes and we caught a couple more of those smaller ladyfish. But we noticed the sun starting to set. So we decided to pack it up and head back to our camping site. We now pull up to our camping site to set up for the night. So as we pull in here, we got the ropes ready again to just tie up to this dock. Once we were tied up to this dock, we decided to chill out and make some awesome dinner. Once we had some dinner and told some stories, we decided to head to bed because we had a far run tomorrow back to the boat ramp. We woke up to another awesome sunrise, and this was our final day. So my brother Hunter made a couple of casts again in the morning because we saw some fish, but then we packed up and we started heading home. After a 20-mile run now, we are now pulling into the boat ramp after surviving 48 hours in the Florida Everglades. We hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will catch you guys in the next Barjack's Family Fishing video.